there, welcome to another Crafting in the Rain video. Today I'm using my xTool F1 laser to make some little textured stamps for making clay earrings. Now, if you have been over to my Instagram at all in the last couple of months, you have probably seen my newest obsession, making clay earrings. It's been so much fun. I have made a ton for myself and for my kids, and I'm selling them, and it's been really, really fun. On this pair here, you can see I've stamped in some leaf shapes before I baked the clay. I'm just going to be using regular rubber stamp material, and I'll show you in Creative Space how to design one, how to cut it out with the laser, all of that good stuff. I do want to make sure to note we are only using the laser on the rubber stamp material. We are not lasering anything on the clay. Some of the components in the polymer clay release toxic gases when lasered. So just the same way that you would never want to use a laser to cut out like regular adhesive vinyl, you don't want to use it on this clay either before or after it's baked. Make sure you stay safe and only laser approved materials. So let's go over to the computer and get started designing these.
Open up the xTool software Creative Space and add a rectangle shape. A good size is somewhere around 2 inches tall and somewhere 3 to 4 inches wide. So this is going to be good for me to work with. And then you can upload your own SVG design or pattern, or you can come here to the shapes that already exist in the library here for Creative Space. So I'm going to open up the plant category, and I'm going to look for a couple of little leaf branch designs that I like. When you click on one, it adds it to the canvas over here to the right. They come in automatically as the score process, but I'm going to change them to Engrave just because it fills it in solid and it'll be a little bit easier to see and a little bit easier to work with. And then you can resize them and just start randomly placing them around this rectangle. Fill in the space. It's okay if they go off the edges, and duplicate, rotate, flip, anything you want to do to make the pattern for this texture stamp. To help fill in some of the smaller spaces, I'm going to isolate a single leaf. So take this leaf branch shape, copy and paste it, and then add another rectangle and just draw it so that it just overlaps one of those leaves. Select the rectangle and the branch, and under the Combine menu, Unite at Overlap. And so then you'll be left with this one singular leaf shape, and you can pop that into some of the empty spaces. Again, you can make it bigger or smaller, rotate it, layer a couple of them together just to fill in some of those gaps. When the rectangle is filled in the way that I like it, I'm going to drag the rectangle out of the way so that I can select all of the leaf and branch shapes together. And then under Combine, hit Unite. Now it's like one single image, and then I can bring that rectangle back up, and we're going to kind of slice that out of the middle. So select everything, the pattern and the rectangle, and under the Combine menu, you're going to again hit Unite at Overlap. So I'm going to turn on my F1 machine and connect it by Wi-Fi. It's just telling me that the shape of my canvas is going to change because I'm changing machines, and that's fine. So here is our leaf pattern. It's going to fit just fine in the F1 workspace. Change the processing type to Engrave. And we are going to adjust these settings. We want the power to be 100. The speed is going to be 180. And we want it to do 6 passes. Click the framing button and then check on your machine, and you can do this part with the little green guard lifted up. The blue framing laser is fine to look at. Set the rubber stamp material so that the framing outline fits on it. Then you can stop framing. You're going to push process, then start, and then over here on the actual xTool machine, you'll need to push the start button. The laser is going to start transferring that design. It'll go over it 6 times, and I found that that seems to make it deep enough that it makes a good texture on the clay. I didn't show this part here, but when it comes out of the laser, you're going to want to take some rubbing alcohol and a toothbrush, and you're going to want to brush away all of the debris from the rubber stamp material. Then it's ready to use. So let's go get some clay ready. Good brands to start with are Sculpey Souffle or Sculpey Primo. Okay, so you have a little section, and then take an acrylic roller and roll out your clay. Roll it so that it's about 1/8 of an inch or 3 millimeters thick. Then you're going to take your texture stamp and set it down on top of the clay. Then take your roller and do a fairly firm roll across the top of the clay. Carefully take one corner and peel it up, and you'll see that this raised texture is left in the surface of your clay. Cut out earrings with whatever cutter shape you want to use. Peel away the excess, and then use a very thin little tissue blade to remove the clay earrings from your work surface. You can clean up the edges a little bit here, just be careful to not alter the shape of your earring. You can sand away the rest of the little bits after it's baked. Mark where the hole is going to go, and then bake according to the clay instructions. Mine is going to be 275 for 30 minutes. When those come out of the oven and they're cool, I'm going to finish drilling the hole all the way through and then attach my earring post.
All right, so I hope that was helpful, learning how to do some texture on earrings. And things like this are available online or in Etsy shops. But if you want to make one that is totally custom to you, or you just want to kind of have fun with the process, then this is a great way to do that. Let me know if you've got any questions about anything that I did today, and make sure you check the links in the description for anything that I talked about in the video too. All right, I'll see you next time.